Connolly, play the last 4 bars by yourself, please. Fool.
It's not me, sir, it's the piano.
Come outside, Connolly.
The key's always sticking, sir.
It's not like you to make excuses, Connolly.
But the instruments are old. We need new ones, sir. We need a new piano. That one...
Listen to me, Connolly. This is my band and I'll decide what happens. You're finished with the band. We'll rehearse for an extra 2 hours after school. This time we'll get it right.
I've been kicked out of the band.
See, it can be done on this piano without wrong notes. If you know your instrument, you work round your problems. Initiative. That's what people like Connolly don't have.
Initiative. What's at stake here is basic human rights.
Yes, Andrew.
Connolly was a member of our band and we didn't lift a finger to help him.
Connolly's a boring leader. Better off without him.
Who's the next one to go? You? Or me?
Can't abandon him just like that.
So what are we going to do?
We'll leave the band. That'll fix Anderson. That's pointless, Brian. We need the band.
We'll start our own band. Do our own thing.
And where are we going to get the instruments?
Who'd do the organising? Who'd conduct us? You've got to give it to Anderson. He does know what he's doing.
Except when it comes to people.
Hang on. Look, we need Mr. Anderson so he can play music.
Right.
And he needs us. I suppose he could train a couple of new band members, but not a complete band. So he needs us, or there's no music.
Right. So why don't we just say that we feel we can't produce our music until our complaints are dealt with?
Anderson's a reasonable man. He'll listen.
I'm sorry, but Connolly's not coming back. He's only got himself to blame. Do you know what that money means if we win it? It means I can buy a decent collection of band records for you. It means I can buy score sheets so that I can make my own arrangements of every piece. Then you'll be playing individual music, lad.
But Connolly's put 3 years into the band.
You think that's tough, do you? You wait till you hit the outside world. Then you realise that we teachers have been very soft on you.
What's the use of individual music if the instruments are in such bad condition? Money could go towards replacing faulty instruments.
It's my band. I formed it, I conduct it, and nobody's going to tell me how to run it. And if you don't like that, we'll close the doors and don't have a school band.
We've got to decide whether we give in or fight for what we want.
I think we should organise ourselves into a unified group.
Who do the talking? Let's have an election.
Andrew? Yes. Doug? Andrew? Yes. Doug? Yes. Andrew? Yes.
Okay, I accept the job. I'm going to be firm but reasonable. I won't do anything rash until we've exhausted every avenue. And even then, I won't do anything without consulting you. Okay?
I'd hate to raise this issue, but as secretary, I think we ought to have a membership fee.
I'm not joining, Lynn.
Why not?
It's a waste of money. My instrument's okay. In fact, to tell you the truth, I don't even like Connolly.
Listen, John, it's best if it's one for all and all for one. Okay, things are fine now, but what happens if the band gets reorganised and you get stuck with a faulty instrument?
We'd fight for your rights just the same.
How much?
So this is your list of demands. Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed in you. I thought we were getting along fine.
We're not being unreasonable, sir.
We're all in this together. The music's the thing. That's what we're here for. I think we should forget our petty troubles and get on with the job. That was Connolly's problem. He couldn't get on with the job.
Connolly's problem was the piano, sir.
Don't you know that having a place in the band is a privilege, not a right? I can play the piano okay, so why couldn't Connolly? Let me show you something. It produces the sound of any instrument you can name. It never gets sick, never gets tired, never complains.
You tried to form a union, Andrew.
We formed an association of band members.
Same thing. Do any good?
No.
Tough.
We're all threatened by automation, so...
You need everyone else behind you. The whole school.
I'm not a troublemaker. I just want justice for our members.
Then get support from other students.
Right, quiet please. Now, before we start, I think Carl had an announcement he wanted to make.
Mrs. Jacks, I'd like to announce that we'll be holding a meeting in the canteen after school to support the school band. We'd like all the class to attend.
In the school gym at lunchtime, athletes are protesting in support of the musicians. English students have voted that no library books will be handed in until the lockout is ended.
Well, that's fine for you, but we have a job to get on with, you know. So the English teachers have decided to continue their lockout of English students until all library books have been returned.
Of course this unionism thing has created chaos. I've no qualms about unionism in the school as a whole. After all, a teacher has a heavy teaching schedule, and that sometimes makes us neglect the needs of our students.
Well, my students have shown quite a fresh and exhilarating approach to their work.
Well, I'm just confused.
I feel threatened. But it's not a war between us and them. When they leave this school and join the workforce, they're all going to belong to unions. At least they're learning what unionism is all about.
Well, I don't say unionism hasn't got its uses, but it could be seen as a threat to our authority. I say let's have a united front. Use it when we can and oppose it when it threatens. They'll just have to get themselves better organised, that's all.
Get organised. That seems easy.
Oh, come on, so...
No, we could do it easily.
Sure.
No, just imagine. Every group could have its own union, which could look after the needs of the students in that union. Every union run by the students, for the students.
There'd be hundreds of them. More chaos than ever.
That's true. You could have a union of all the unions. Eh? A union of all the unions. Each union could elect delegates. They could decide on a general union policy. That'd put an end to all the chaos.
It wouldn't work.
It would. It would seem to be a good policy that this council supports equality, that girls should be allowed to play football. Now, turning to general business on the agenda, I'd like to raise our responsibility as unionists for the unemployed. We can't deny that many of us who leave school have little hope of getting jobs. Our union should be helping to prepare students for their possible future as unemployed workers.
It wouldn't work.
It would. That's what they mean by getting organised.
Hey, come on, all we want to do is get Connolly back in the band.
We must realise that both parties in this dispute have one thing in common. They both want to make music. Mr. Anderson's band is worth nothing without the students' music. The students' music is worth nothing without Mr. Anderson. At this meeting, we must attempt to reach reconciliation so that both parties can make beautiful music together.
So why'd they go to the principal?
The union and Anderson won't agree, so Anderson asked the principal to be our independent arbitrator.
Independent? He's one of them.
I wouldn't bet on it, Sue.
The Musicians' Union, of which Andrew is delegate, presented a lot of claims to Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson refused to discuss the matter. We feel we're being reasonable. Most of the musical instruments are worn out. We also feel threatened that any one of us could be replaced by the new electronic organ at any time. We also feel we should have some say in how the prize money is spent, if the band wins it, especially considering how bad the rehearsal room is. It's all here in this log of claims.
Mr. Anderson?
I don't even know why I try. I've given up all my time for the band, given the kids in it a great opportunity. And this is how they thank me. Most other bands have an electronic organ. It'll allow the band to sound bigger and better than ever. Look, I think the claims are unfair. I don't see we need to discuss them even. If they were to choose their own music, all they'd play would be pop music.
Do you agree to abide by my decision?
Yes.
I will recommend that to the members.
ABC. Arbitration, bargaining, and compromise. That's what it's all about. So let's deal with this matter point by point, and then work out a compromise.
First, the good news. Connolly's back in. But only on 3 weeks' trial.
I don't know if I want to be in the band anymore.
You're a boring lead, Connolly.
Secondly, we're going to have a say in what the prize money will be spent on.
If we win it.
And thirdly, the electronic organ will be introduced next year. And nobody will be sacked.
We won! We didn't win. You still don't have a say in what music we play and how often we rehearse. We're still stuck in this dagger rehearsal room. There are a lot of other questions undecided.
Oh, we lost. No, we didn't lose either. The principals agreed to a future meeting to discuss those issues. Let's just say we made some ground and we've got a way to solve future problems.
At least we've made a start.
Where are you going?
I thought the meeting was over.
But it's hardly started yet. We've got a lot to decide.
Unions are boring.
A pathetic lot.
Mr. Anderson, I hope everything goes well for you tonight.
Thank you.
You'll win. Don't look so down.
They all hate me. I was only doing it for them. They all turned on me.
Oh, I don't think they did that.
Why did they form this union business then? They wanted to get rid of me.
I wanted to talk to you. Look, sometimes what we want and what they want are poles apart. It's never very easy to understand each other anyway. At least they got their message across, didn't they?
But a union? Well, I suppose she's right. It's not a war between us and them. At least they're learning what unionism's about. Arbitration, bargaining and compromise. Thank God I don't have to handle this lot. Let someone else teach them the ABC.